So in about 5 minutes, we're going to be hearing the beautiful violin pieces you've all come here for this evening. And I'm going to introduce our violinist, Sharon Cohen, in a moment, and also tell a beautiful story that I think will set up the first piece of music she's playing. So my introduction to Sharon Cohen is all of 2 sentences, and when I shared the introduction with her, she said, "Oh, it's much too long." I said, "What should I say? Sharon Cohen, who likes to listen to music on occasion?" So bear with me for my very long introduction. Israeli violinist Sharon Cohen has worked with various artists, including Yo-Yo Ma and Pinchas Zuckerman. She is also a member of the West Eastern Divan Orchestra, which brings together Israelis and Arabs for the purpose of promoting dialogue and coexistence. So that's the formal introduction. And before Sharon does her very first song, Schindler's List, here's a beautiful little story. In the ghetto of Chernovitz, a little girl smuggles herself out of the ghetto every day to get food for her family. And the reason she does it, and not her family, she's small enough to get through the cracks in the wall. And secondly, she doesn't look Jewish. She has blonde hair and blue eyes. And every day, this 8-year-old girl smuggles herself out of the cracks of the Chernovitz ghetto to get food for her family. And one day, a guard catches her. Doesn't realize she's Jewish. Realizes an 8-year-old girl should not be running around Chernovitz. And he says, "Little girl, what are you doing here? You need to be home with your parents and your family. You shouldn't be running around. I'm going to take you home." And I'll go myself. "No, I'll take you home. Where do you live?" If she tell him she lives inside the Chernovitz ghetto, that's a death sentence, because you're not supposed to escape the ghetto. It'd be a death sentence if you're her and her family. "I'll go home myself." "No, I don't trust you. You look like a troublemaker. Where do you live?" "I live over there." And she points to a house near the ghetto wall, but not inside the ghetto. Takes her by the hand, and they start walking towards the house. It happened to be the home of a very famous opera singer. They climb the steps. The soldier knocks on the door, and nobody answers. And she's so relieved and then all of a sudden the door opens, and there's the opera singer standing there. There's the little girl, and there's the soldier. And the opera singer's about to say, "So what do you want?" But before she has a chance to open her mouth, the guard says, "I found a little girl running around the streets of Chernovitz. Is there any way to take care of a child?" Instantaneously, the opera singer took her hand and smacked the girl so hard, almost knocked her over. Grabbed her by the scruff of her collar, threw her into the house, looked back at the guard and said, "You have no idea the kind of trouble my daughter causes for me. Thank you for bringing her home this evening, but I must discipline her. Have a good night." She closes the door, looks at the little girl and says, "You're a Jewish girl, aren't you?" Saved her life. In a split second, she not only had the moral courage, but the moral imagination to save her life. This story is told not once, but over 25,000 times in Yad Vashem, where there's memorial for the 25,000 righteous among the nations who risked their lives to save Jewish life during the Holocaust. But they didn't just save Jewish lives, they saved the very reputation of humanity. So I'd like to invite Sharon Cohen up, accompanied by Paul Hoffert, who's going to perform for us a beautiful song called Schindler's List. And as we hear the song, think of the Schindler, think of the 25,000 righteous among the nations, and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands more whose names will never be known, but whose example should inspire us every day.